Starting in Washington, where the president had a whole lot to say on Monday. He promised to solve Chicago's crime problem in a week, vowed to bring drug prices down 1,000%, plans to sue California, wants to make the Department of Defense the Department of War again, which it was previously in the 1940s. Like I said, the president really ran the gamut of conversation starters. He also signed new executive orders. The big one is an attempt to end cashless bail. Cashless bail is pretty straightforward as a concept. It's exactly what it sounds like. A suspect doesn't need to fork over any cash to secure their release from custody before a trial. President Trump believes the policy is a disaster and that it's a recipe for more violence.
Somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months, we'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. And I mean, they kill people and they get out. Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street. Any street all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it.
We need to unpack that a little bit. In general, cashless bail isn't used for violent felonies like murder. Most of the time, bail of any kind in that case just isn't on the table. That said, in New York, for example, judges are allowed to consider a suspect's financial situation when deciding to require cash to secure their release. And it has led to a few horrible outcomes. 2 men collared for dealing drugs in Greenwich Village were released without bond earlier this month. They were also convicted killers. And last October, a suspected gang member was released without bail after being arrested and charged with attempted murder. He was later handcuffed in a Miami drug bust, only to get out again. Now, the White House also put a spotlight on a study done on recidivism rates in one California county, Yolo. The research found that upwards of 70% of people released on zero bail in Yolo reoffended. Now, the other major executive order that I need to mention is on flag burning.
Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision. They called it freedom of speech.
Now, that Supreme Court ruling that the president mentioned there is from 1989, when a liberal majority held that flag burning is protected speech. Now the president says that burning a flag will earn the offender a 1-year stint in jail. It remains unclear how he's going to enforce that, or if this is a vehicle to challenge that Supreme Court ruling that he obviously doesn't like.
For more on this story and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York Post cast wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. You'll be glad you did.